Hello, welcome to this review of LEGO Star Set 75372 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. This set has 215 pieces, a ton of figures, and is coming out in January 1st, 2024. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Starting off first with the figures, first off here we have regular B1 battle droids, of which there are two with some slight differences on the hand, which I'll explain more as to why that is the case later in the review. Then of course we have some beautiful B2 super battle droids, which we haven't seen in a while. There's 3 total, and they look very nice. Now on to the plain Phase 2 clone troopers, which we haven't seen in quite a while either. 3 of which, and they're great looking besides the helmet holes. Then of course there's a Coruscant Guard Trooper, which we have seen in previous sets, and next up is builds. And for those builds, it seems LEGO might have went for a little bit of a quantity over quality type thing, because there's a few of them which are just like, that's just a box, but it does have some thermal detonators in it, which is nice. And then there's this guy, which is just your classic little battle pack turret that you see in a lot of battle pack style builds, and this is of course marketed as a battle pack, so you know you gotta sneak your stud shooters in somewhere. I'm not gonna fire it because I'm gonna lose them instantly. Now these are all of course for the clones, as well as this guy right here. It is also a clone build, which is a little speeder bike, which is very similar to another battle pack build that was a speeder bike that also had the like 2 clone thing where you have one facing forward to drive it and another facing back with a turret. This one of course has the 2 blasters that are for the 2 clone figures that don't have blasters, other than the 2 Phase 2 clones, because there are 2 that aren't giving blasters, but there's these 2 blasters here. And then next over for the droids, we have 2 things. We have this like octoptoid, I can't remember your name, Octoptara, I believe, Tri-Droid thing here, which is very cool, and we'll get into that a little bit more detail in a second. And then a Stap Speeder here, which is also very cool. So this is where that thing comes in with the different hands. So you have these 2 facing like that, so it can go on the clips a bit easier, which is also why there's a clip on the back of this droid. And similarly with this other droid, it has 2 of this hand for holding the blaster, so that you can switch the one out for this if you want to just have them as your regular standard B1 battle droids that you get in every other set. So that is kind of a neat little detail by LEGO that just kind of enhances it a little bit with these 2 regular B1 battle droids here. Now next up, of course, you got the Octoptara, I believe is the correct pronunciation, Tri-Droid, which is the like Christoph's version. As you can see by the box art, that this set is kind of like a more Christoph's build, which really makes me wonder why they included this figure. I wonder why, LEGO. That's a very interesting inclusion for you to add in a Christoph's set with a Coruscant Guard Trooper. Very odd choice for you there, LEGO. But, I mean, I'm not going to complain about having another clone in the set, because, I mean, why would you? It's another clone. I'm down with it. But now let's focus in on this Octoptara droid here. It's pretty cool. It's a bit underscaled, but it is like a battle pack build. As you can see with the minifigure, it is quite a bit bigger than a minifigure, but I think it's a slightly out of scale. I think it should be about that big, maybe, or something. I'm not great on the scales, but I definitely know this is a bit small for the Octoptara droid if you want it minifigure scale. But it is, of course, a battle pack build, so most things are not in scale with battle pack builds, so you can't really knock them on that. Now, this is an old play feature that used to be in a lot of sets before they introduced spring-loaded shooters and stuff, which is the, of course, flick-fire missiles. And in the last rendition of the Octoptara droid, I don't actually have it, but I've seen videos on it and stuff. And usually when you flick them, this whole part rotates with it because it's connected to the blasters on it, but this is actually an improvement as it's connected to the legs rather than the actual blasters themselves. So when you flick it, it doesn't go spinning. You can actually kind of flick it. It's a little bit hard to do with one hand there, but you can see how that works. It's a pretty neat play feature, and is surprising that they included it in sets like this because you don't see it all too often anymore. So yeah, I think it is a pretty decent little build here for the Octoptara droid, and there's also like a little brain in the top there, which is kind of funny because, you know, Lego designers gonna be Lego designers, and they're gonna hide some little stuff in there. But yeah, overall I think it's a pretty cool little build, and let's see it all together. And even with just one of these guys, you can create some amazing scenes with these little shield pieces acting as, well, you know, shields. You can have different clone engagements and stuff, even just with one of these things, because it comes with a wide variety, but not too much variety to where it's like you get one of each figure or something. You gotta buy like 20 of them to make something interesting. It comes with a good amount of each figure, maybe minus your Coruscant Guard Trooper, which doesn't really have much of a place here, but I do get why they would want it in a more like army builder type pack to support the Coruscant gunship that came out in the previous year of 2023. But it's a great set overall, and there's definitely plenty of stories you can tell even just with one of these packs. But, you know, most people are probably going to get maybe 2 or 3, maybe even more than that, just to, like, widen up their armies, and I don't think that's going to, like, hurt the battle pack itself in any way. And I think they definitely made some improvements on the kind of super battle pack type model with the increased price point, but more figures and more stuff that you're getting from the 2020 501st Trooper Battle Pack, which was kind of an interesting thing. They just upped the price point, added 2 battle droids, and made the builds a bit bigger, which wasn't great as far as like battle packs go and stuff. They just wanted to charge more for the, you know, 501st Troopers that people have been wanting for a very long time. But I think they definitely made some improvements on how that kind of model works now with this Super Battle Pack. And it's not like it's going to be a replacement of the traditional Battle Pack, which upped the price a few years back to $20, because we have seen more of those in the past couple years between the 501st and this guy right here. But I think it's going to be great for army building, which I'm definitely going to do, and brought back plenty of figures that were wanted by fans, and it's pretty good overall. So with that, I'm gonna have to ask you how you thought of the sound in this video, because I've actually got a new mic for my GoPro, and I've been using that to film this entire video, and I'd like you to tell me how the sound quality and video is, because if it's good, then I'm gonna continue using this and just kind of figuring it out and stuff. But with that said, it's a pretty good set, and we'll see you next time. Bye.